Tucked away under the embrace of the gigantic Himalayas in the northeastern part of India lies the state of Sikkim. A state with an exceptionally rich biodiversity and natural beauty. The Mount Kanchenjunga, the third highest mountain in the world at 8,586 meters, lies in Sikkim. It is home to the Kanchenjunga National Park, mixed natural and cultural UNESCO World Heritage Site. Sikkim covers a total area of 7,096 square kilometers, with 81% of its area recorded as forest land. It is home to numerous species of animals and plants, some of which are endemic and rare. With a view to conserve this rich biodiversity, large areas of Sikkim have been included into the Protected Area Network, which extends over 47% of the total geographic area of the state. In Sikkim, there are a total of 7 wildlife sanctuaries and 1 national park, out of which 3 lies in the East District of Sikkim. The range officers, block officers, head forest guards, other frontline staff, and members of the Eco Development Committee protect these wilderness areas. Not very far away from the capital Gangtok is the Fambonglo Wildlife Sanctuary. This sanctuary is home to a number of Schedule 1 animals and is a rich habitat of the Himalayan black bear. The sanctuary, with an area of 52 square kilometers, was notified in the year 1984. The name Fambonglo is derived from the Lepcha language, which means the hill of the matchless Adulis. It is also known as the Humbomla. Hum or humpo means fog, and referred to as such since the hilltops remain for the most part of the year covered in a blanket of fog. The altitude ranges from 1,500 meters to over 2,700 meters, and has a well-marked zones of vegetation from subtropical to temperate. The area encompassed by the sanctuary is considered sacred, and the local people continue to uphold the old beliefs associated with it. Bears straying into human habitations are believed to be the unhappy manifestation of the deity Cho Ragarathe. People appease these deities to protect the village from any epidemic, famine, frost, rats, locusts, or hailstorms. They pray for good and nutritious harvest and to protect the region, their houses, and their fields. The animistic belief and devoutness to the supernatural forces exists even today and advocates certain conduct to be observed when visiting the woodlands. It lays emphasis on the necessity to have good intent when visiting this place, else misfortune befalls. Unruly conduct or any form of disrespect to defile the sanctity of the surroundings causes the entire area to be enveloped in a thick fog, causing temporary disorientation to one member of the group, making him lose his way. People have been known to lose their way for days on end, all the while moving in circles as if caught in a complex maze, and to return to the same point again and again, or sometimes arriving at a different location than intended. Besides, this sanctuary is a source of drinking water. Because of its proximity to Gangtok, the sanctuary is very popular with day trekkers who come to enjoy the beautiful oak forest and the grand view of the mountains. The Kyungnosola Alpine Sanctuary is located approximately 30 kilometers away from Gangtok. It was notified in the year 1984, and in the year 1992 it was further extended to cover a total area of 31 square kilometers. The altitude ranges from 3,224 meters to 4,262 meters. This sanctuary, with typical temperate to alpine vegetation, has a rich diversity of alpine flora, which flourish here in boundless profusion, and most are unknown to other parts of the country. The sanctuary is considered to be the headquarters of Asiatic primulas. In areas around Tamsay, there are 26 species of primulas, localized in an area of less than 60 square kilometers. This place was the hunting ground for eminent plant experts and collectors like Cave and Smith, Ludlow and Sheriff, and the Botanical Survey of India. A combination of factors like high relief, heavy rainfall, acidic soil associated with rhododendrons, bogs, streams, peaty soil has resulted in the high diversity of these species. April to September is the best time to visit this sanctuary to bear witness to the floral diversity. It is the season when there is a dazzling display of blooms which brightens the entire landscape with colours of purples, blues, whites and pinks. With increase in altitude, the forests of the temperate zone are replaced by grassy meadows. In the higher reaches, one encounters miles of unbroken patches of low-growing, impenetrable bushes of rhododendron. Of the rhododendron species, R. anthropogon, nivali, and citosum gives off strong scent when trodden upon. This scent, coupled with the strong high-altitude sunshine, can cause headache and nausea. These aromatic rhododendrons find use as incense in Buddhist monasteries. This sanctuary is the catchment area for Rathai Chu, the main water source for the capital, Gangtok. Besides, there are high-altitude lakes and wetlands, and of these, the biggest is the twin lakes of Cho Pinsum or Jaw Pokari. These high-altitude lakes sustain a diversity of alpine flora and fauna. They are important stopover sites for migratory birds. It is a habitat for Schedule 1 species like the snow leopard, red panda, Himalayan black bear, and the musk deer. There is also a good population of blood pheasant and the Himalayan monal. The sanctuary, besides its alpine diversity, is known for the Seton Tashi Cave, named after one of the pioneer naturalists of Sikkim who was responsible for the creation of the Kyungnosola Alpine Sanctuary, along with the then Yalmo of Sikkim. The areas around this cave provide a unique microenvironment, enhancing the floristic diversity. Very close to the Kyungnosola Alpine Sanctuary is the Pangalaka Wildlife Sanctuary, covering an area of 128 square kilometres and notified in the year 2000. The altitudes ranges from 5,900 feet to 14,255 feet. The sanctuary borders on China, Bhutan, and the Indian state of West Bengal. This unique location, where the flora and fauna of 3 countries meet, remains the most distinctive feature of the Pangalaka Wildlife Sanctuary. Its picturesque landscape comprises of beautiful forests from subtropical to montane grasslands with rich floral and faunal diversity. The area harbours endangered animals such as the red panda and the snow leopard, with the Royal Bengal tiger also migrating across its borders.
The Royal Bengal tiger is त्यहाँबाट आउँदछ भाइ न्यूरा फरेस्टबाट न्यूरा फरेस्ट सुन्नुभएको छ त्यो न्यूरा फरेस्ट त्यहाँबाट आउँदछ अनि Pangolakha is very important भने चाहिँ because of that. It's भुटानसँगको एरिया हो है यसलाई चाहिँ वाइल्डलाइफ सेन्चुरी भनेर गएको छ अब फेरि चाहिँ अर्को चाहिँ सिक्किममा चाहिँ इन्ट्री उयो भएको छ भाइ गौर क्या यो त्यो चाहिँ भुटानमा मात्रै पाउँछ है तर सिक्किममा आउँछ कोही कोही बेला मान्छेले मारेको पनि छ कोही चाहिँ टाकिन भन्ने एउटा चाहिँ सानो टाउको मात्रै भयो क्या भेरी फ्युरोसियस त्यो पनि यहाँ हाम्रो यसमा कोही कोही बेला छिरेर आउँछ.
The sanctuary offers ample opportunity for undertaking joint landscape conservation initiatives across international and state borders. This sanctuary takes its name from the Pangalaka mountain range that extends below the Chola range and separates Sikkim from Bhutan.
अब जस्तो यो छ ट्राई जंक्सन यो 3 सिमाना यही हो यहाँदेखि तपाईको उदो पर्यो तपाईको बेंगल वेस्ट बेंगलको पर्यो एरिया पर्यो जस्तो यो यहाँदेखि यता पर्यो तपाईको भुटान अन्त यो साइड सबैको सबै हाम्रो सिक्किम पाङ्गोलाखा वाइल्डलाइफ सेन्चुरी साउथ पर्यो यो चाहिँ अनि प्राय अब यो जग्गामा चाहिँ हाम्रो अब रेड पान्डा तपाईको अब भालु भयो अनि अब जस्तो यो ल्युपार्डहरु भयो यस्तो अब प्राय चाहिँ बाइसन छ यसमा चाहिँ को कभर छ बेसी चाहिँ हाम्रोमा यो पट्टि चाहिँ अब जुन बेंगल हो यो चाहिँ यता वेस्ट बेंगल पट्टिको यो चाहिँ प्राइभेट होल्डिङ हो अनि हाम्रो यता चाहिँ यो वाइल्डलाइफ पाङ्गोलाखा सेन्चुरी के यहाँदेखि यता चाहिँ सेन्चुरी पर्यो
हामी एनिमलको स्पिसिसहरु मोनिटरिङ गर्छौं त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हामीले क्यामेरा ट्र्याप एक्सरसाइज गर्छौं त्यसमा चाहिँ एनिमल्सहरुलाई चाहिँ हामीले क्यामेरा राखेर जंगलमा क्यामेरा टक 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 प्लेस गरिराखेर के गर्छौं भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ एनिमलहरुको कस्तो कस्तो एनिमलहरु पाउँछ त्यो हामीले अब्जर्भ गर्छौं स्टडी गर्छौं त्यहाँदेखि चाहिँ त्यसको टोटल रिपोर्ट बनाइराखेर के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीले हाउ टु इम्प्रुभ द हैबिटेट त्यसमा काम गर्छौं फिल्डमा काम गर्ने फिल्ड स्टाफहरुको लागि चाहिँ युजुअली हामी चाहिँ बाइ फुट यो एरियाको निगरानी गर्छौँ। डल्लै पेट्रोलिङ गर्दा पनि बाई फुटै हुन्छ, किनभने हाम्रो लास्ट रोड हेड भनेको चाहिँ मुलखर्कसम्म मात्रै छ। त्यहाँदेखि एभ्री यो रिजहरू चाहिँ हामी बाई फुट कभर गरेर गर्ने गरेको छ।
The word Pangalaka means herder's hut at the head of a meadow, so derived from the practice of transhumance once prevalent in the area. Before the closure of the border at the time of the 1962 Sino-Indian War, herders brought out their livestock to graze during the summer months on these great rolling high-altitude pastures that extended on either side of the mountain passes, straddling the Sikkim-Tibet-China border. Subsequent to its closure, the restriction imposed on cross-border grazing greatly contributed to the vanishing culture of the nomadic way of life. Bordering on both China and Bhutan, the area witnessed historical events of international significance. The initial herders and traders were followed by 19th century travellers, explorers, botanists, soldiers, diplomats, mountaineers and missionaries. The Jilep La and the Nathu La were much trodden passes and important points of access to Tibet and Bhutan. The Jilep La Pass, or the Lovely Level Pass, now part of China's Tibet Autonomous Region, TAR, and at an altitude of 13,999 feet, was part of a once famous trade route which connected Lhasa with British India. Though there were 12 other passes into Sikkim, this route was the most used since, as the name suggests, this pass was easier to traverse. Kalimpong was then the chief entry point for trade between India and Tibet and was the last outpost of British India. It was popularly known as the Harbour of Tibet. The Tibetans came down through Jilep La and sold their goods, of which the main product of trade was wool, and took back palm oil, cereals and manufactured goods for sale in Shigats and Lhasa. The sanctuary is surrounded by the small hamlets of Renok, Aritar, Lingtam, Padamchen, Nathang and Kupup. All these villages were important halting places for traders, muleteers and travellers between British India and Tibet. Besides its biological diversity, the entire region offers interesting prospects and opportunity for developing the area into a non-invasive, heritage-centred ecotourism circuit.